Yo, man, welcome back to another episode of that Stay Off My Grass podcast. You got your boy, Suns fan Randy, and you got Jerry Jer. What's going down, man?
What's good? What's good?
What's going on, man? So, you know what I'm saying on this episode, we had to get to it. We got some Suns getting into some Laker ass. You know what I'm saying? What James Worthy do? The James Worthy clap some Laker ass. Listen, man. I'm gonna keep it an absolute beam. I think that even though the box scores show that we won, I'm gonna keep it a beam. Like we realistically lost that game. We lost that first half. I feel like the Lakers look decent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give y'all too much praise, but I feel like y'all look decent. There's some flaws I feel like y'all still got. I don't know how consistent y'all gonna be. I don't know how much heart y'all gonna play with every single night. But I will tip my cap and say, like, all right, y'all definitely are looking better than what y'all looked last year. But you know what I'm saying? At another side to that, or the flip side to that, Anthony Davis ain't playing because he got back soreness already. So, but to skip it on over to my side, I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like what I saw. I don't know if pace was a point of emphasis for Monty because we was doing a whole lot of up and down, fast pace, and that's not typically how we. You know what I'm saying? We the slowest. We was one of the slowest paced teams in the league, if not the slowest. But to flip side to that, we was one of the highest efficiency rated teams in the league. So I feel like I'd rather have that than what we saw last night because Devin Booker looked like absolute doo doo. Chris Paul had a decent first half, but he had a first, and then he just started jacking up shots. DeAndre Ayton couldn't get nothing going. Mikal Bridges, another one. Like I said, I feel like we just need consistency out of Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton for real, for real. Like if you really want to get surgical, I feel like for us to be a championship team at this point, we're gonna need DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges to step it up. And like I said, I feel like before I hand it off to Jay, I feel like Cam Johnson starting four spot to me personally is in jeopardy just because I feel like Torrey Craig showed last night that he's a better offensive rebounder than we might have thought, or like he can go out there and go grab boards, or he has that instinct to go get the ball at the four, which we desperately need. And I feel like if Cam Johnson not careful, Torrey Craig gonna take that spot. But like I said, I like Cam Johnson, but I do think that he's a little bit soft. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Jay, hand it off to you. What did you see?
I think it was some pretty good basketball played by the Lakers last night for those first three quarters. Obviously, we got the notification that like probably 20 minutes before the game, AD wasn't going to play, which is a bummer always because you always wonder is this lingering for something else. But Kendrick Nunn looked real good last night, especially since that whole year he didn't play last season because of the bone bruise. LeBron, good as usual. Austin Reeves, it's gonna be kind of weird seeing him come off the bench because he started a lot of games last season. So if we're gonna bring him off the bench to be Nunn sub and let Nunn run the one, it's gonna be a little. It might be a little all right, but I do think the Lakers still they did lose a lot when we let go of THT and Stanley Johnson because we don't really have any more depth for wing players. That 6'5" to 6'8" player, we don't really have too many of them. Winning Gabriel looked pretty good last night. I like the aggressiveness of Damon Jones. I'm glad we brought him back because last season when we didn't bring him back, we saw how AD looked when he had to play the four. So that's my thing too. I like how yeah, I like how he looked last night. Could have looked a little better, but that's what it was. But go ahead,
Uh-huh.
let me turn these notifications off.
All right. Well, yeah, man. But to flip it back over to my side, man, I liked what I seen out of Jock Landale last night. I feel like he definitely moved up in the rotation spot for me. And I feel like another thing too, I know it's out there like, all right, like Suns fans, you got to be prepared because I feel like Damian Lee is entering in that new coach's pet or Monty's favorite bum that he likes to throw out there. I feel like Damian Lee is entering in that category of the Abdul Naders, the what was buddy? French dude, I can't remember his name, point guard, I forgot. Akobo. Akobo. You know what I'm saying? Like Deuce is just like, why are you out there? Like, why is Damian Lee out there? Like, I'd rather have some of the other people I'd rather would have seen Bismack. I know we don't have everybody, but I feel like I would rather see some of these other guards. So we gotta see what Dwayne Washington can do and somebody else because I feel like at this point we know what Damian Lee can do. You know what I'm saying? Like he can shoot threes, kind of a 3 and D kind of guy, but I feel like he's just not consistent enough. I'd rather see what Ish can do. I'd rather give him a chance more than Damian Lee. But like I said, I feel like Suns fans we got to prepare ourselves for that. But like I said, I did see I liked what I seen out of Dario, even though he should have hit those 2 free throws and we wouldn't have won in overtime. But I like what I seen out of Dario. I like what I seen out of Jock Landale because I was a little hesitant just because that first preseason game he was having a lot of trouble catching the ball. I was like, we can't have two people that can't catch the ball, and DeAndre Ayton and
let
Jock
me
Landale.
just throw this in there. Is it me or does Aiden look checked out?
100%.
Okay, I'm not crazy. He does. I don't see him really like boxing nobody out, fighting nobody for a rebound. Like man's mentally don't look like he wants to be in Phoenix, which is probably true. He's trying to hang on for as long as he can and get where he wants to go, get what he wants. But I feel like he looked checked out last night, so I wanted to bring that up to you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I for sure think that DeAndre Ayton is checked out. Like I said, it's not a good thing when he came out and said, "I'm treating this like a job. Whenever I get between the lines, this is work for me." Like you can't win a championship with a guy that's treating it like it's a job because you know what I'm saying. If you just look at the history of the championships teams in general, everybody's bought in. Everybody love each other. It's kind of like more of a family chemistry kind of going on. But if you got somebody that's like, yeah, like I really don't want to be here. I'm treating this like a job. Like I said, if you worked at a job and you start treating it like a job, you know how that go. You start cutting corners. You start coming to work late. You start, you know what I'm saying, not caring about what you're supposed to be doing. And like I said, I don't think that that's a good thing moving forward. But I'm kind of hoping that the camaraderie, and I feel like that was another thing too. I feel like is missing with this team. Like I'm not seeing a whole lot of high fives. I'm not seeing a whole lot of like. It's a level of seriousness, which I don't know if it's just within them just because they've been there, done that, everything. So it's like everybody's just locked in focus. Because I feel like last year was a whole lot of like laughing, hunky dory stuff. It's just a lot of people just a whole lot of smiles. And I feel like this season or just the last from what I've seen from everybody is just a whole lot of seriousness. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. But how do you feel about Westbrook and what he did last night and you know what I'm saying, what y'all looking like without Anthony Davis in the lineup? Because realistically, that's what's gonna happen probably.
Do you have his numbers from last night? I don't think he was it like 13 or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how much he scored.
He went 4 for 12. He finished with 12 points,
there we go.
6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 turnovers. So
once again, like I keep saying, we're gonna try to work this Westbrook thing out. But the reason we kept players like Kendrick Nunn, got players like Patrick Beverly and about Dennis Schroeder back is that safety blanket if Westbrook goes AWOL again. So at this point, we're just trying to wait it out. We're trying to make sure that $47 million he makes actually he makes it and he doesn't just get it. He's not just given to him. So and still a lot of pressure on him. I want to see the Lakers actually develop and win a game in the preseason. Then I can make a full judgment. But I mean, Westbrook, he did miss some really, really, really bad shots last night. He airballed a free throw for one. He missed a 3-pointer long off the rim. One that he definitely could have passed to someone that was wide open in the corner. I saw, but I just don't know what to do with him yet. I mean, we still got a couple more preseason games that he can get ironed out, get his game right. But
and how do you feel about that starting lineup? Because just looking at the starting lineup, I don't like that at all. Like I don't like you got LeBron, you got Winnie Gabriel, you got Westbrook, you got Beverly, and you got Austin Reeves. I don't like that starting lineup. I mean, I love it just because
I
it's
don't
not gonna win
like
a whole lot of games.
like I was saying last season. I'm not a fan of small ball. Anthony Davis needs to play alongside a true number 5 center, a true center that's gonna back him up. Help him clean up the boards, help him protect the rim, help him just let Anthony Davis roam free on the defensive end. That's the benefit of having him playing with a 5. I don't like that. I just didn't like it. I don't like LeBron playing the 4. We had Austin Reeves playing like the 3. We had way too many guards on the floor, and that's just not as we saw last year with the Lakers. That was not an efficient lineup. It doesn't provide enough wins. It doesn't provide enough points. It staggers the bench. It doesn't give us anything else to do once that lineup comes out of the game. So, like I said before, I'm not a fan of the small ball. It doesn't really suit this Lakers team, and it doesn't really play to our strength. So, small ball for the Lakers is not really a good look for sure.
Right, and I feel like realistically, that game last night for y'all was decided by if you really want to get surgical free throws. Y'all missed a ton of free throws last night, 32 for 44, 72%. And it was just like maybe if you make those free throws, the game go a little bit different. But hey, I'm not mad at it. But before we get out of here, I will
say though, I mean, even though it is the preseason, that fourth quarter, they just let the young guys run. So, I mean, that was just really like a pickup game at the end of the day in that fourth quarter. So, I mean, I'm really not going to take too much of that with a grain of salt. But, the first three quarters, the Lakers did have the lead. They were playing really good ball. They had the lead at halftime. Everybody got their numbers. Everybody hit their benchmarks, what have you. Kendrick Nunn was shooting the lights out. Looked really good shooting the ball. But just that fourth quarter, when they had the young guys in there trying to get them their experience, which I understand. But,
right.
Yeah, it was all right.
But one more question before we get on up out of here, man. I want to get your point of view because we was talking about this in the group chat. Does Derek Fisher deserve to have his jersey retired? Yes or no?
No. I'm gonna say no. He is a 5-time champion, but when you talk about the Lakers lore, ain't nobody talking about I'm here because of Derek Fisher. Like, we respect Derek. Derek is a lovable person in our franchise, but you don't retire his number. We didn't retire Kurt Rambis's number. Actually, and then after when things got hot and heavy after the Pistons series, Fish left town. Fish went to Utah. Fish went to Golden State. Then he came back. He helped Kobe win them 2 rings, but I don't think he's a jersey retired player. Maybe hindsight 10, 20 years from now, they might say, yeah, Fisher was important enough to retire the number, but I don't think he's that important to retire right now. I won't even say I don't think he's even averaged like double figures playing for the Lakers his entire career. Because if you retire Fish number, you got to retire who else number? Robert Horry. Then it loses its value. Yeah, so let me say this: the Dodgers have this thing where they only retire players' numbers who are in Cooperstown, the Hall of Fame. That's the only way you get your number retired as a Dodger. Fernando Valenzuela, Fernando Mania, a lot of reason why the Dodgers have a huge Mexican fan base. His number is not retired. He won a Rookie of the Year, won a Cy Young, won World Series champions his first year, threw no hitters, pitches were amazing, but he does not have his number 34 retired. But the thing is, no one has worn that number since then, but the Dodgers won't retire it because he's not in Cooperstown.
Like I said, I personally, this is why I couldn't be a Laker fan. I feel like that's disrespectful. I feel like Derek Fisher is disrespectful to watch Wayne Ellington, Lonzo Ball, and all these other number 2s wear number 2 just because it's just like, I feel like when you say that, you kind of diminish the impact of what Derek Fisher did. Like I said, I'm not a Laker fan, so it's Laker politics, so I'm going to just step back on it. But I will say I feel like it's disrespectful. And even if you want to go the numbers route, or if you want to say like he was a role player and he didn't average 10, he stepped up in a lot of big-time moments. And if Paul Gasol is getting his retired, I can't remember a time where Paul Gasol was out there really, where I can remember like, oh, Paul Gasol really took this game over, or Paul Gasol was the reason why we won this series, or whatever the case may be. Because I feel like I can list a number of Derek Fisher moments where he came through in the clutch. Like I said, Kobe said it himself, he's the only dude he trusted in the clutch. And then on top of that, like I said, even if you want to go like he was a role player at best, like if you're born like us, we're like 90s babies or whatever, mid-90s babies or late 90s babies. Derek Fisher, and no matter how you slice it or dice it, Derek Fisher is the best Laker role player that we've seen in our lifetime, or in y'all lifetime.
No.
Who's a better role player than Derek Fisher during your lifetime? Please tell me. I'll wait. I will wait.
Robert Horry.
Robert Horry is a better role player.
Is
a better role player than Derek Fisher. Is a better role player than Derek Fisher. Come on, man.
Yeah.
5 rings. And Robert Horry was there for like what? 1, 2?
No, Robert Horry was a part of the 3-peat, man.
Okay, man. Like I said, it's Laker politics. I'll let y'all argue about that.
Okay.
I'll let y'all argue about that. But like I said, I feel like we both know Robert Horry ain't it. But till next time, man, we'll catch up to y'all.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Till next time, man. Peace.